Hello and welcome back to Mr. Malher Music and my series on musical maestros. Today we are looking at Gustav Holst. Now I want you to be able to state some facts about Gustav Holst, and then I want you to compare 3 different pieces of music. I'll help you out with that. So let's start with our Hall of Fame. Gustav Holst, Gustav Theodor Holst. He was a 20th century composer. He's from Cheltenham in England. He was born on the 21st of September 1874 and died on the 25th of May 1932. His major works include the Planet Suite. Let's look a bit more into Holst then. So Gustav Holst was the 4th generation of composer in his family. Lots of composers. He really wanted to play piano, but he was unable to because he had a problem with his hands. So he learned trombone instead. He decided that he wanted to become a composer because he wasn't making so much money. So he then started teaching trombone instead. He was never that successful with jobs because he decided that he would enlist for the army when World War I started. But he was classed to be unfit for military service, so he went back to teaching and composing. So he was composing during the 20th century. He is a newer composer of orchestral music. Now let's look a little more at Holst's Planet Suite. And it was written between 1914 and 1916. A suite, let's start with that, is in Western classical music is an ordered set of orchestral pieces. The separate movements are often linked by a theme, in this case, planets. There are 7 planets in this piece. And they've all got a little subtitle. There they are. Mars, bringer of war. Venus, the bringer of peace. Mercury, the winged messenger. Jupiter, the bringing of jollity. Saturn, the bringer of old age. Uranus, the magician. And Neptune, the mystic. Now, he missed out Earth because he was living on it. And Pluto hadn't been discovered when this piece of music was composed. Now, in 1930, when Pluto was discovered, Holst was still alive, but decided he wasn't going to compose for it. So, I'm going to get you to listen to 2 pieces of Holst's. The first piece is Mars, the bringer of war. This piece that was composed, written by Holst, is fantastic. There's so many great things in there. It is a very brass heavy piece, lots of brass instruments. And one of your extra challenges on your listening task today is going to be, why does it sound like the bringer of war? What has he done in this composition that makes it sound like that? The second piece I'm going to get you to listen to is Mercury, the winged messenger. Very different from Mars, which is why I've picked it. And the third piece I've picked is not by Gustav Holst. Instead, it's by another composer. And this piece of music wasn't composed. This piece of music was improvised, which means it was made up as it went along. And it was improvised by one of the greatest composers of musical theatre, Leonard Bernstein. He wrote West Side Story, you might have heard of it. Now, he was doing a talk to schools about Holst's Planet Suite and said there was no Pluto, and he decided that with the New York Philharmonic they were going to improvise a piece called Pluto, and he gave it a little subtitle just like Holst would. Pluto the Unpredictable. Because it was an improvised piece, what an appropriate name. the unpredictable. When watching this video, you can see that Bernstein is conducting the orchestra and he is making people go louder, quieter, giving them different instructions of how to play their instrument to make this incredible piece of music, which is completely improvised. So, a very different listening task. There's a listening sheet you can download from the description box below. You don't need that though, you can write the answers down on a piece of paper. And it will give you a chance to compare the 3 different pieces by answering the questions. So, your challenge then. Listen to 3 pieces of music. 2 by Gustav Holst, 1 by Leonard Bernstein and the New York Philharmonic. All 3 fantastic pieces. I know you're going to enjoy them.